Good afternoon, everybody. It's Daniel. I have a new video, and this is going to be a quick one today. It's just going to cover a really simple revenue management idea and term called breakage. And it looks like we're about to talk about something really serious here. But it's not that serious. It's just kind of a cool idea and a cool concept that you can use on your revenue calls. And it's very basic concept, but it's really powerful. So I'll show you when and where you would use this concept of breakage here. So I want to start with one example of low breakage. So first of all, before we just jump into this, what is breakage? So basically breakage is, the ADR or the rate of the business that you're picking up versus what your bar rate is. So if you have a bar rate tonight at your hotel of $200 and you're picking up rooms at $88, there's a really big disconnect between the business that's booking and then what you're asking as an actual bar rate. So the difference in between those two numbers is the breakage. That's what's known as the breakage. So I have three examples. The first one is low breakage. So this example is pretty self-explanatory. There's not a lot of difference in between the ADR of the rooms that you've picked up here. In this case, it's a 7-day pickup. There's not much difference in this ADR versus what your bar rate is. So let's start with this example. We have a business on the books report here for a 93-room hotel. And let's look at what our occupancy is for the week, what we've picked up in the past 7 days, and let's keep an eye out for what the ADR is for these rooms that we've been picking up for the past 7 days. So it looks like this hotel has pretty strong occupancy this week. They are really close to the sellout here on Tuesday, Wednesday. They're also pretty close to the sellout here on Friday, Saturday. And their pickup for the past 7 days here in this column has been really, really strong. So there's been a lot of, probably corporate midweek pickup here. They picked up 34 room nights on Tuesday. They've picked up 42 on Wednesday. And you'll notice that the ADR of the rooms that they're picking up in relation to the bar structure is really, really close. And in fact, some days they're picking up business above the bar rate. So that should definitely be a red flag. There's not a whole lot of breakage here. So what does this mean? As a revenue manager, I think that this means that we're probably underpriced because there's not very much resistance to this $109 bar rate that we're asking for these weekdays. So that means that the guests are probably seeing that 109 rate and they think that's perfectly fine. They're willing to pay it. In some cases, they're maybe even willing to pay for upcharged room types. Also, too, another time where you're going to see this a lot is with properties that negotiate their corporate business at a really high rate. And then by the time that, it gets close to arrival, maybe they have to drop their rate really low to try to get some of that transient and leisure market mix. So this may be some corporate accounts that are booking in the 120s and 130s. And then they're also picking up a little bit of leisure as well, which is kind of, convoluting this rate, making it a little bit higher than the bar rate. So your ADR breakage, traditionally, and 99 times out of 100, you probably don't want it anywhere near this low. There's a very, very low amount of breakage in between what they're picking up and then what they're asking for a bar structure. So if I saw this on a revenue call, I would almost immediately pitch a higher bar structure here for this property. So yeah, this is a really easy one here, and this should be a definite red flag if you see breakage like that. So let's do a quick calculation. Where did I get these numbers here? And a quick note on that is when you're on a call, you don't have to calculate what the breakage is, but I just want to do this just so you get the concept down. So when I'm on a revenue call and looking at breakage, I'm really just doing a really quick eyeball check here. So I'm just taking a look at, okay, what's their ADR, 110, their bar structure is 109. The pickup is above 109, so there's not much breakage. But if you really wanted to be technical, let's take Sunday night. We're picking up rooms at $97. Our bar rate is $99. So, that's the breakage basically. All right, so let's move on to a scenario where there's really high breakage. And in this scenario, you can see that the occupancy for the same hotel in the same week, it's really low. Occupancy is really low for this week. So in this scenario, it looks like the hotel priced themselves much more aggressively on the high end. So their Sunday starts at 149. They have their Monday and their Thursday shoulder dates at 169. And the midweek peak, Tuesday, Wednesday, is at 189. And then the weekend's pretty high as well at 149. So you can see that their pickup is nowhere near as strong as the last example. So they've picked up only 12 room nights on Tuesday and Wednesday, whereas in the other scenario, they picked up 34 and 42 room nights. So right off the bat, this looks like they are not picking up a lot of business because they're probably overpriced. Now, if I wanted more proof that they're overpriced, I would look at the ADR of the rooms that we've picked up in the past 7 nights. And there's some nights on here that really look suspicious. So we've picked up one room night at $64 here on Sunday, where their bar structure is $149. We're picking up rooms at $88, $94, $81 on this Thursday, and then super low, $48 here on this Friday. So that also should be a really big red flag. So you'd probably at this point be asking yourself, you know, what kind of business is booking at that low of a rate if our bar structure is $189? So a lot of times when a hotel is overpriced, and especially when they're grossly overpriced, like this hotel looks like it is, a lot of times it'll force the guests to book in non-traditional channels. So what I think is probably happening here, and I'd have to look at the reservation level data to confirm this, but it looks like guests, the rate is so high that guests they're using their rewards nights. Maybe they know somebody who knows somebody. They're using friends and family rates. They're using associate rates, or they're booking opaque channels. And it looks like maybe there's a couple people, maybe 1 or 2 people that actually are paying that bar rate. But for the most part, it looks like people are using, different channels to book just because there's such high resistance. So it scared away most people from booking in the first place. And the few people that are booking are using some of those different avenues just to avoid paying this rate here. So this is extremely high breakage. And the reason we say high breakage is just because there's a huge rift in between the ADR of the rooms that we've picked up in the past 7 days and then what our actual asking rate is. So let's calculate another one. It's already calculated for you in this column, but for example, let's take Friday night, the 28th. We've picked up rooms at about $48. We're asking $149. So, we're only picking up rooms at 32% of what our bar is. So that's a really big rift in between the ADR and then our bar structure. So with this hotel, if I saw this on a call, I would immediately want to drop rate. And I would drop rate because I want to improve our market segment mix. That's really what this whole exercise is about, looking at breakage, is you kind of want to hit that sweet spot and make sure that you're picking up a good mix of bar rate, qualified discounts. You don't want to, scare away your local negotiated accounts. It's really all about market mix at the end of the day. So in that first example, back to low breakage, this hotel is probably picking up too much full bar rated business. This hotel is picking up hardly any bar-based business and any business that's, associated with the bar rate, very little qualified discount, stuff like that. So here's an example of what I would consider good breakage. And this looks like a nice balance in between the two, right? So occupancy is much stronger than in the last example. Looks like we're getting pretty close to the sellout here on Tuesday night and Wednesday night. And again, these shoulder dates look a little bit healthier. They're in the 80s. The weekend looks like we're going to sell out here. We're already more than 90% occupied on this Friday and this Saturday. So look at the pickup. The pickup, the volume of the pickup isn't quite as much in the weekdays as that first example. It's nice and strong over the weekend as well, but it's much, much more than that high breakage example. So to me, this signals that, the demand is there. And then looking at the ADR, it looks like we're priced pretty well. So the pricing, there's a really nice correlation between the ADR of the rooms that we're picking up and then our bar structure. So you can see the ADR of the rooms picked up kind of spikes there over that Tuesday, Wednesday midweek peak. And not coincidentally, those are the 2 nights where we're asking for the highest bar rate of 149. And if you look at the breakage here, there is a little bit of breakage, but it's not huge. So for example, on Tuesday night, we have an ADR of 131 for these 34 rooms that have picked up in the past 7 days. and our bar rate is 149. So we're getting about 88% of that 149 on the rooms picked up. So to me, that signals that yes, people are booking the bar rate. People are booking qualified discounts. I would imagine there's a perfectly healthy amount of L&R business as well. And it just means that, you know, all channels are booking. Everything's firing on all cylinders here. So this is a good signal, you know, that the price structure is working. I would still, on a call, drill down and look at my market segment just to confirm that. But from what I can tell, it looks like, you know, this is a good market mix. This looks like this is good pickup here. All right, so that's been a quick video, I hope quick video on breakage. Thanks for your time, I appreciate it.